Hello and welcome to Broadsword Wargaming. In this video I am doing a faction focus on Sisters of Silence for Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team.
The Sisters of Silence are an all-female order of Imperial Witch Hunters. Tasked with hunting down rogue psykers and other threats throughout the galaxy, they help to enforce the Imperium's rigid laws on the use of psychic powers.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please do click that subscribe button for more videos to come, or check out the links below if you want to support the channel further. Now this is another in the series of Kill Team faction focus videos. I've got Sisters of Silence. I think actually I'm over halfway through the whole army sets and all the factions now for this game, so quite looking forward to getting these guys finished and getting them done. This one's a bit of a treat because Guillaume, who you saw the other week in the Sisters of Battle video, lent me these models so I could get some lovely shots for you guys. So thank you very much to Guillaume for lending me the models. I'll get straight in. They're a pretty small faction, a relatively new release, not a load of rules, so it shouldn't be that long. So stick around and I'll catch you guys back at the end. Why play Sisters of Silence? If you like your ladies clad in black with bald heads, acting as Gnoll psykers armed with great swords, bolters or flamers, burning, killing and purging all the heretics in the name of the Emperor, then they're probably the faction for you. Pros. They are immune to psychology on a grand scale. No one can target them with an ability, or psychic ability, because you just can't. They also make it harder for players to get Deny the Witch or to cast other spells on themselves. You get a -1 modifier for every sister around you, up to a maximum of 4 for doing those things, so pretty tough. Did I mention that they're really good against psykers? Well, they get to reroll wounds against psykers as well. So Thousand Sons, Grey Knights and Horrors are going to have a pretty tough time. And finally, I think they look really cool. You can have them armed with a sword, a bolter or flamer, and that is it. There's not too much flexibility in what you can do here. I don't know if that's a pro, but it's a pro that they look so cool doing it. Cons. Durability. This is probably the main issue I have with these ladies, is they are toughness 3 with admittedly a 3-up armor save, but they have no invulnerable save. So unlike the Sisters of Battle or most other factions, they've got a great 3-up save, but once you start applying modifiers to that, they're going to fall pretty quickly. They're 1 rune models, 3-up, toughness 3. Shooting is going to be a problem for these ladies. They have great swords, awesome for melee. Flamers are a nice weapon, good for killing hordes or putting multiple flesh wounds on things, not so good at taking down big, strong, tough opponents like Death Guard or multi-wound Terminators. The only other option they've got is a bolt gun. A bolt gun is a bolt gun. It does its job, it bolts, it guns, but it's not going to kill anything. So not any really strong, great damage weapon or anti-armored weapons for you to have. Specialist abilities. The Sisters of Silence all come with a special ability, Psychic Abomination. This makes them completely immune to any effects from psychic powers, and also makes it harder for opponents to cast spells on themselves or to Deny the Witch. They suffer a -1 modifier for either of those for every sister within 18 inches of the spellcaster, up to a maximum of 4. This makes it so hard if you're a Grey Knights player or a Thousand Sons player in particular. There aren't that many factions with psykers, but if you do, you're going to struggle. They also have the special ability Witch Hunters. This allows every sister to reroll wounds against any psyker. Very specific. If the first rule against psykers wasn't going to do the job, this probably will. Unfortunately, they don't have very many tactics. They only have 4, 1 for each kind of sister and 1 general leadership debuff. The first one for 1 CP is Punishment Fire. This turns a bolt gun into an 18-inch Assault 3 weapon that ignores all penalties to hit. So long range and cover don't matter. That's a lot of shots, pretty good. You're going to have to get up close to use it, but not a bad tactic for 1 CP. Particularly to those people camping on objectives like Tau, or people just putting any poxwalkers on things, nice and mowing down those kinds of troops. Another really good ability is Decapitation Strike. This allows the sisters with the great swords to add 1 to the wound rolls. Not only would they be strength 5 already, because the sword is +2 strength, -3 AP, D3 damage, they now get +1 to wound as well. So you're wounding most things on 2+, Death Guard on 3s, really, really nice ability. For 1 CP, probably your best ability. They have the ability Unsettling Presence. This is 1 CP and is a +1 to the nerve checks for enemy models within 3 inches of a sister. Great for screwing your opponents over who are already broken, or making people very difficult to do anything at all, allowing you just to burn, stab or shoot them with no retaliation. And finally, there's Purgation Sweep. Purgation, sweet. It's 1 CP and applies to your flamers. It turns them into a straight 6 assault 6 weapon, not D6. This allows you to put a lot of flame out there, particularly as you have access to a lot of flamers. I like the abilities these sisters have. Some of them are very specific to only psychers, which does affect their play a little bit. Still a nice kill team overall, a good mid-tier kill team with some good abilities and particularly good against psychers. A standard kill team roster. You only have access to 3 sisters. Each has a superior for an extra attack and leadership, but only 3 base models with 3 types of equipment. You have vigilators, probably the best, armed with great swords. You have prosecutors, ladies armed with bolt guns, and witch seekers allows them to be equipped with flamers. You can have as many of or all of these as you like. They're generally a base cost of around 10 points a model. You want to spend a few points on the superiors if you can. Not much choice. I think melee is really where they're at, so a combination of vigilators and witch seekers. The prosecutors are good for maybe sitting on objectives and using the bolt guns from long range. A tactic could be quite nice against hordes. Handy to stick into a roster, but not really where I'm putting a specialism. For me, I'm probably doing a prosecutor superior as my leader. That's a bolt gun, can sit back on an objective if they need to and keep out of the way. I'm using all of my specialists, so combat, zealot, and veteran, probably on the vigilators for extra combat buffs. Make one the superior as well for the extra attack. Going to come in quite handy. That's 4 attacks, probably at strength 5, minus 3 AP, D3 damage each. That's just awesome. And then I'm going to fill out the rest of my roster with a combination of vigilators and witch seekers. Lots of flamers. Flamers are great in this. You have the power to stop things on Overwatch. You have the CP you can spend to make sure it's a 6 assault 6 weapon. And flamers in general auto hit. So you don't care about things like cover. You don't really care about anything. You just run up there. They're a great support for your sword-wielding ladies, and you can just smash your opponents to bits. A roster, I might change it around and make sure I've got a few extra bolt guns in there, just for those objectives when you need to sit and hold back. But for things like Arena, flamers are going to win the day. Well, there you have it. That is the Sisters of Silence faction focus. That's the best I can make of them. They're not a top-tier faction, but they are somewhere around the mid-tier. They're not rubbish. They've got a 7-inch move as well. 3-up armor is handy if you're not against high AP weapons, and the swords just rule the day. Getting in there with 4 attacks, with a strength 5 weapon, doing D3 damage at minus the AP, will destroy Space Marines. It'll destroy pretty much anything. So hide those behind your flamers. Good luck charging all those flamers. A great kill team and nice looking models. Relatively cheap to buy. I mean, yes, you'll need 2 boxes probably and equip them with your various bits of equipment, but really cool figures. So yeah. If you've enjoyed this video, please do remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the alarm bell below for more videos to come. Check out the links in the description. There's links down there for my Amazon shop. There's links to Element Games if you want to buy some models. There's links to Grim Dice Gaming. Use the code BWG in the checkout as well. And of course, there's my Patreon. This is for the die-hard fans, the people who really support me. Thanks to you guys so much. Thank you to Guillaume for lending me these models as well for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will catch you again in another video. So take care.